Welcome to your sophomore year at the Tragedy Academy, where you are the teacher and we are the students. Together, we will learn from past tragedy to lay the foundation for a better humanity. The only supplies you'll need: an open mind and a sense of humor. So, tilt that chair back, talk out of turn, and never raise your hand. Because this is the Tragedy Academy, and class is in session. And I'm Purist Scott. Eric, did you go ahead and hit record?
I did.
Yes, sir. Excuse me.
My turn.
Go ahead, man. I don't care.
No,
I got a book about feminine hygiene products. We're good.
Yeah. As earrings and ornamental hangings. Yes, go ahead.
Love it. Welcome to the Tragedy Academy, a show created to bridge societal divides in a judgment-free zone using candor and humor. My name is Jay, and I actually have my co-host is here from our freshman year, Erick. How you doing, Erick?
What up, man? How you doing?
Doing good, brother. Haven't seen you in a while.
Been a while. I'm happy to be back in.
Right on. I'm glad you're here because I think you've like a million things in common with our guest today, Karen Laven. She's here to promote her book, which is the funniest thing I've read in a long time. It's called The Other 23 Days and Scores of Alternative Uses for Feminine Hygiene Products. How you doing, Karen?
Good. You know what's really sad, Jay? I wrote that book, I don't know, 14 years ago.
Did you really?
Yes. I just won't give up on it. It's one of the most unique things I've done, and I've written a lot of other books after it, but I just can't let it go. I should. Everyone tells me to, but I just can't. So it's sad, but that tells a lot about me.
Passion project.
Yes, which again is really sad because it's about pads and tampons. But
I loved every single bit of it.
Thank you.
Learned, I can tell you that. And I love how you push the envelope with the humor and the wit, and it's super engaging. What made you come up with this idea 14 years ago? I'm sure it's fresh on your mind.
I know you'd never noticed, but I'm originally from Minnesota. And my family's from there and everything. And a guy there that I knew started a publishing company. And he said, I want you to do a book on great ideas for first birthday parties for, babies, whatever. So this is what I gave him.
Yes, for a first birthday
I swear.
you gave him a book.
I tried. I got a sentence, use a balloon. And I'm like, I can't write this crap.
I've already done this.
Yeah, I just can't.
I've already done this. Yep.
I just couldn't do it. So he was a little like, well, I have to think about this or whatever. But he actually came on board really quickly.
He gave you a horrible, number 3 will shock you kind of list that you had to do here about fucking birthday parties. Yep. Who wants to do that shit?
I guess I didn't. I should have been grateful. I started out writing in newspapers and doing feature stories on things like that. And to get in the book thing was a dream come true back then, especially, But I couldn't do it. I tried. I just couldn't do it. And if I would have done it, I'd probably be in a better house and whatever, and done things the right way because, my sister read it and she's like, you're so different. It's so unique. I said, do you think one day I'll hit the big time? She goes, absolutely, but you'll be dead. It'll be after you're dead. She goes, the world's not ready for you. She calls me Bear. The world's not ready for you yet, Bear. But no, it's been 14 years.
Ads lately on Facebook for the immersive Vincent van Gogh locations.
Yeah, we have one in Tampa. Yeah,
you'll be the Vincent van Gogh of everybody else's lifetime.
Vincent van Gogh of feminine hygiene products.
Exactly. Exactly
what
right.
An honor! You're such an honor.
Yeah. Watch me clip my right string.
That's right. That's right. Vincent van Gogh did it. Except it'll just be gigantic tampons.
Oh, yes.
I love it, man.
Yes.
You've done a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And you've done.
And yet still not succeeded.
Well, what's the definition of succeeded?
Says a lot. I've been able to do a lot of stuff. That's great. And I've had the opportunity and I haven't given up and I pushed to try new things. But honestly, I'm old now and it would really be nice to get that residual check, every month and whatever. That's really, really, so my husband doesn't have to, I just would like to contribute more financially to my family, and they know I'm a nutcase. We have fun around here and things like that, but I'm sure I've embarrassed them as well. My little family coming with my little book signing with all wearing tampon earrings, and I have a picture of my son hanging tampon things on a Christmas tree. No wonder it didn't go anywhere.
No. See, everything you're saying to me is amazing. I'm thinking that they could give two shits about that check with regard to how much they have a mother that is so fucking cool as to do all these just nonsensical things. It's much better payoff.
Well, I drug him to a lot of things. And, my husband did say, I will say this, when we did the ghost books, he drove me around. He was my chauffeur. I'm like, I don't know this area. That just happened when we moved to the Cincinnati, Kentucky area. So and then he started as my chauffeur, and then he was taking photos. He was helping interview people and whatever. And one night he said to me, I never would have done half this stuff if you would have been normal. He's like, I'm like, is that a compliment? I think so. Thank you. It made me feel good.
Every morning, it's like a mantra.
That's right.
I can relate. Yeah. It's so, yeah.
That's amazing. But see, what I'm hearing is that you have a lot of support. And for somebody to be as unique as you are, it sounds like you've had support since day one. Like you've had fostered that authenticity, because you don't get a voice like yours without feeling comfortable in your own skin.
That's so weird. I don't know if I do. It's really strange. I think part of me always has. I've always realized the most important thing in life isn't the residual check. I knew it as a kid. It's not about that. It's about, how you treat people, how you live, all that. It's a cliche because it's true. That's the only place happiness really is. But it's fun to pretend for a little bit and go, this was fun and whatever, but I know it's not. You know what I'm talking about, to have that kind of a thing.
I get what you're saying. Something came up the other day, and I read something about importance. And if importance is placed on something, it makes it a lot harder to obtain, or you won't obtain it. And I was like, what does that actually mean? I was like, and the explanation, or the what's the word I'm looking for? The way that it was described was there was a flat board, maybe 25 feet long. You lay it on the ground. If I asked you to walk down that board and, heel to toe, however, and I laid it on the ground, it was sturdy, you'd do cartwheels, you'd moonwalk, you do all sorts of stupid stuff. It's just a board on the ground. Whoopity-doo. But for some reason, if I take that board and I make it sturdy as shit, like we're not even talking about it wobbling or anything like that. If I put it 50 feet up in the air and say, go ahead and walk across that board, suddenly you're holding it like a koala. You're fucking losing your mind. You're wobbling, you're helicoptering and all this stuff. But nothing has changed except for the importance.
That's totally it. Wow. Okay, my life's good now.
Thank you.
That's it. That explains so much.
Cool
it is so true.
Too. Like, this is a recent thing that I read. I was like, holy shit, that makes sense.
It totally makes sense. And this is the truth. If I can get myself in that position where I'm like, I can just play around. It's not going to be like we're going to lose a house if I don't. If I get a little room to play and I just reach out. I have applied for the strangest things. I got it in, featured extra thing. I had never been. They did a bunch of movies in Minnesota. Drop Dead Gorgeous, Sugar and Spice, that kind of a thing. And I'd never done that, but I sent a poem to the casting director, and I said, it's some stupid thing. Let me play a stewardess, and something that kind of rhymed, whatever. I don't know. 3 days later, she's like, "You're in," and I'm like, "What am I doing?" Well, you're the stewardess. I was like, I just wanted to be able to get in there and get paid and be on the set or whatever. So I think that helped me realize, try to be the stewardess. Most of the time now, I'm not, but I see what you're saying, because I seem to put it out there.
You walked away from it. You applied and said, good day.
Yes.
It might come back. It might show up. And then all of a sudden, it's in your lap, because that person needed that poem, whatever it was, opened it up and said, this is my person, and moved you on through. It's
so
a weird
interesting
dynamic. They place it on money, too. That's how the explanation was to me. It was that when you place importance on money, it becomes much harder to obtain. And I think it's kind of a backwards kind of scenario, where it's kind of like looking at a car. You go to buy a car, the first time you look at like a Kia or something like that, whatever it is, and you go back out and all you see is the Kia. Everywhere you go, you see that model of car.
That's
no
so
matter
true.
where you go, no matter where you go. I feel like it's the same way when you are upset about not having money or financial stricture. You're going to notice the amount of strain from your finances tenfold because you're focused on finances. And it makes it that much harder to survive. I don't know. It's just these seesaws. It seems like I see where you're trying to fill that. I read something in this book that stuck out to me. In just right in the forward, I think it was. And you had said that I was a girl trapped in a woman's body.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty deep.
I was 11 when I got my period. And I was no thing about anything. Just, I was a child. I was still playing with whatever. And and then I'm like, what is this? What is going on? And I felt, honestly, at first, I felt like it was torture. I hated it. It took me a while to, I just felt really, we all have childhood things. I know you have had whatever and just stuff
and as well
with, bullying and things like, so it just was like really, really, even that little book my mom gave me said like, you're usually 12 to 14 or whatever. I'm like, what the heck? So I just felt that. And then also just learning how to deal with it. I also had terrible side effects. I had to go to a specialist and whatever because of the...
Women have it horribly rough when it comes to this.
It was rough. And I was like, I just wish it would stop. I couldn't even leave the house for the first day or two of my period. I had such terrible, and they didn't have, what saved me is ibuprofen. Just, and if any chicks are watching, Midol did nothing for me. But that changed everything. And now I have like 2 sons, they're old and still living here, but that's not the and I thank God, I have them. And having the children was the best part. But it's amazing now you put it that way and I look back and it was worth going through all of that to get those two.
Right. And I think one of the reasons why I pointed it out is it seems like with all the roles and things that you've done over the last decade, I'm looking through these things and I'm like, they're super cool.
Thank you.
It looks like somebody that is trying to A, find who they are, and B, realize who they were. Because the person that wrote this book is the same person you're trying to be now when you were being yourself, 100% yourself. This is goofy. This is goofy. This is you.
And inappropriate. I heard that so many times.
But you approached a very hard subject and you pulled the rug out from underneath the comfortableness of stupid products. Literally products.
I know.
Like if you had a unused maxi pad stuck to your fucking pant leg, people would you would be on TikTok. You would be all over the world. It's a piece of fiber.
I know. And I was so naive. I was shocked to hear from from bookstores and whatever. Like, oh, it's just too controversial.
Is that right?
Really? Yes. Over and over. I had a book and a half book signing. That's about it. And about 3 people total that came for that thing. But I couldn't, I liked the book. I liked that it did something unique and whatever. And I still do not believe how it's still a weird, in a way. I mean, I know world's changed and all of that, but it's just shocking to me that, that they made me feel, what did I do wrong?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like not even a little bit wrong. It's all them. The fact of the matter is they have such a horrible association with those products in their life and probably the PTSD that every young woman has that they don't want anybody seeing them. They don't want to talk about it. They want to hide it because they might be wearing one when you're holding the book and everybody can see it. And all those things come right back to 11-year-old, whoever it is, feeling that way. How stupid is that?
It's crazy. And that now that you say it, it's so funny. I heard from men. Men contacted me more than women. They loved it. They loved the book.
Yeah. What was the feedback that you got out of curiosity?
From the bookstores and everything?
What did the bookstores or whatever, what did they say?
And what killed me? One of them was a feminist bookstore in Minneapolis. And they're like, yes. And they're like, well, you can't, we'll put you in the basement. And you can, if anybody meanders down there or whatever.
You can't violate the sanctity of the victimhood that is, that situation.
So they just said, so inappropriate was the word they were using, huh?
Oh, and yeah, I knew a woman at the Star Trib, the newspaper there in Minneapolis, Star Trib, and I contacted her and sent her a copy, and she said it's hysterical. Mm-hmm. She went to her editor or the publisher, whatever, and I'll never forget this word because this is what she brought back to me. She said she blanched upon seeing your book. It's a no-go. We can't interview and feature that. How blanched? For instance, she said I handed her the book and she blanched, and I just remember I can see myself sitting there in the basement in Minnesota, hearing that from my little AOL email, and I'm just like, wow.
I think it's your target. I think you're handing your book to the wrong people and signing it in front of the wrong people.
Yeah, I was just wondering the same thing. I was just trying to figure out who needs to see it.
A group of men.
Yeah, younger generation. This book is funny for things on TikTok right now. You stand up and make every single one of these on TikTok with your maxi pads and tampons, you will have a gajillion followers in 5 minutes.
I think believe it or not, probably more guys that are kind of waking up to those types of realities. Because sometimes my wife will tell me stuff where I'll be like, "Holy shit!" Like I had no idea that all this stuff was going on in your side of the world, but like now I'm interested. And then she'll describe the stuff, and she's like, "Yeah, like this is what's happening to us." And
oh boy!
Like all of my friends know all this shit about me. Like you just didn't know. And I think a lot of men are curious about that type of stuff and would laugh at it. And exactly like he said, I mean, a lot of the relatable stuff that women post on TikTok, I mean, that stuff just crushes. And again, men are viewing it, and then women are viewing it too. And whether they're telling anybody or anybody knows, people love it. I mean, people love it because it's relatable, and nobody needs to know that they watched it.
I feel like I'm too old though for TikTok.
Gives a fuck how old you are.
This is good for a mom and a daughter to joke around about. This
I tried that too. I was interviewed at a radio station in Minneapolis, and she said her daughter had a sleepover, and they passed the book, and we're just she said that kept them. They were up all night laughing and whatever. But see, it's just these little microcosms. I just can't get.
It's generational. It's generational. Definitely generational.
That could be.
Because
that could be.
We were raised around, dear God, if you had a piece of toilet paper on your shoe, that meant that the world was going to crack in half.
It's so true. Yeah. It's so true. But the thing too, I also heard from even back then was that's a waste of resources. You shouldn't. I'm talking, but I like the pads and pons if you use them for other things, whatever. That's the thing on our, the trees that takes all this. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, dude, there's people that they're done with their cycle. They're under there. What are they going to do with them? Hello, make earrings, use them for, put them in the freezer for if you have a headache, and take them out, use them that way, stick them for, bottom of your feet for.
Erick looked through. I want you to tell Erick, because you did a lot of research. I saw at the beginning of the book that you actually researched feminine hygiene products and where they came from. Can you tell Erick what the first tampon was?
I don't remember.
Well,
remember, this was 14 years ago.
Grease, and it was a chunk of wood. No,
I was going to say bamboo
it was
or something.
Okay. With lint wrapped around it.
I had to cross my legs right now.
I was like, dear Lord, why?
Us poor chicks.
That's the worst sounding thing ever.
Women have been getting fucked for eons, man.
In so many ways.
So many ways.
But the saddest part is by each other. I guess that's where I felt the most. I felt really shocked and really hurt that the women, around me, or people that
you guys are shitty to each other.
But you post the probably the rawest wound that they had with a smile and a book, and they're not ready for it. That's all.
And like my sister said, and we're 14 years later, and I'm still trying to plug this sucker. But
there was some really cool because
your James Cameron Titanic
this
project.
Is Titanic. There were some things in here that I actually. Some were funny and some caught me completely off guard. And I was like, man, that's super fucking smart. Check this out. First of all, this one's funny. Deodorant pads for farts, right? Take a maxi pad, put it in your pants, rub it down with some deodorant. So if you rip ass, it doesn't stink.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, could it potentially hold it and you go and play a prank on your buddy?
Oh, you
yes, I think then you could take it off. Yes. All the things can hold the last. Yeah, I can't believe I wrote that either. Oh boy,
it's awesome. But then The next
This is
one,
for guys already. Just on the first one, this is for men.
Eric, how many times have you been upset that you sweat before you had to go somewhere through your shirt, like down in the armpits? Like you have those big sweat rings, piss you off, suits, everything. What if I told you could take a panty liner and put it on the armpit of your shirt from the inside with the sticky part and walk around and your sweat would be absorbed?
And no one would see it.
Telling me something that I already knew and had been putting to use.
Have you really been putting maxi pads in your shirts?
That's I was like,
amazing.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's good.
That's
some
I
of
like
this
that
stuff
one.
I really did. Oh, also seriously, if you guys, we had like the hordes of us. We were talking about cicadas before, but the ladybugs that bite.
Yeah.
Okay, we had those in
Biting
Minnesota.
ladybugs?
The hell,
Horrible.
ladybug bites?
I hate them forever now. Take your little pins and your little necklaces. Oh my God, they're horrible. We had them all over, like in our window things in the garage.
I
or
never
whatever.
heard of those.
We took a pad with the sticky side, to try to clean them up. Unless if you don't have the vacuum right there, you take this. We had 50 sticked to the thing. They were already dead, or whatever on the thing, and then you throw them away.
Dude,
there
like
you
a
go.
Swiffer,
Man,
a
fuck
sticky
that.
Swiffer. I saw you put on here that
See, I think I should get money for that.
you should get money for that because you just put Swiffer out of business with big old hospital maxi pads. Those things are like the ones that they give poor moms when they walk out of there that look like a pillow with sticky tape on it.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah,
that
done
would be
it.
a great
But the
Swiffer.
thing is so funny. I did use them for that before Swiffer was ever anything. I honestly took them and took, especially. I'm not going to get too, but we all know the hairs in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you go and you try to whatever pick up, and I'm talking in between, and people come whatever. You just take a maxi pad and the sticky side, and you go like that. All
No kidding.
toss it.
They just
Like
pick
a
right
lint
up.
roller.
Right. They stick to it. All of it.
Do
Yeah.
they really?
Yes.
They pick right up out of there.
Yes.
Here's one you'll
It
appreciate.
depends. I mean, how hairy people. Well, you know what I'm saying.
Ugh.
We're not going to
Yeah,
do that.
I
But
know. I know.
it works
In the
great.
back of the between the toilet lid and
Yes.
the back, where
They always get in
everything
there.
is gross and in there. No,
Yes.
no matter what
Stick
humans
it
been
in
using it.
It works. It
Ugh.
works really, really well.
So
Also,
they
it
yank
works.
all that up.
Yes.
I love
They
that.
I
stick.
like that. I would have never thought of any of this stuff.
Yeah. That's my weird brain.
I got one for you. This is for the handyman. For those of you out there that are nailing things and it's hard to hold those little tiny finishing nails, right? They're really hard to get a hold of. Take a panty liner and push the nails through it. It'll hold the nails in place as you hammer them in, and then you just pull the pad off.
Also, when you set your stuff there, the lighter nails or whatever, you can set the panty line, the pad up in the sticky sides there and just put the nails there and they won't go flying. You know how that can
That would
happen.
probably mean that you could use it on the head of a stripped screw, I would imagine as well.
Probably
Yes.
good.
Probably.
Good. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can also, if you didn't bring a hat, but you happen to have your sunglasses on, you can take a pad, pull off the sticky side, and stick it to the top of your sunglasses like a visor.
Which is very attractive. This book went all the way absurd to, actually helpful, but that's sort of me.
If you happen
Except for
to
the
have
helpful
any
part.
organic pads, you can use them to rub the grease onto your grill or your skillet.
Yep.
I'd want to
Totally.
get seen doing that at
I
a party.
need you to wear a Kiss the Cook barbecue apron with a maxi pad to just do it in front of people as if nothing is going on, like box and all.
Oh,
holding
my
the
gosh, that'd be
always
so
box,
great.
pulling
So
one out in
good.
front of your buddy while he's talking to you, and you're like dropping burgers and you're like and you're wiping it on there like nothing's
Yep.
going on.
And also I have
Is
the
your
always
burger a little
box in the
too pink?
garage. Yeah. Ooh, that's pretty good. Stop it up, baby.
This is in case you like yours too rare. I want to clean up.
I didn't even go that far, but that's
Sorry,
funny.
It was hanging there. Yeah.
Mhm.
This was the other one. Moving sliders. It's fucking genius. If you have wood floors or something like
Yeah.
that, you take them and put it under flip it over, stick it under the leg of whatever,
Yep.
the four legs of something, and just start kicking it across the room like it's nothing.
Yeah, it's so funny because a lot of these we actually did after I wrote the book, and we would, and for years, like I still
So
do
you
the thing in the
actually
bathroom.
Did a lot of this stuff. This isn't like just pure like
No,
sitting there bullshitting around.
I researched almost every single one. My husband used maxi pads for his boat oars so they wouldn't clank against. He had
Yeah.
a wooden boat, so
There's a
we
million
tried them
great
out. I have a
ideas in this
photo of
book.
him.
You know,
Huh? Yeah.
There's two books that immediately come to mind that my family actually owned when I was a kid. One was, I'm sorry, I just can't help but think about promotion for your book and places that it could go. But
That's appreciated.
the one book that we had in my house was Types of Farts. And it was, I mean, clearly if we had it, it was sold somewhere. Somebody
Yes.
got it. I mean, maybe like we got it at like some kind of,
Spencer's or the flea market.
right. Like, so maybe it was like given to us as part of like an Easter grab bag at like the Easter extravaganza in Fort Wayne, Indiana or something like that.
Oh,
Like,
that's a
maybe
fun
that's where it came
family.
from. I don't know.
That's
Some
awesome.
family got it in like a serious fight at that. So, just shout out to the 1993 Easter extravaganza, by the way. Fort Wayne,
Oh my
Coliseum.
God,
For
you're
those
young.
of you listening.
Yeah, for those of you listening, that was fun. So there was that. There was the Types of Farts book. Okay. That went somewhere. So if that could go somewhere, then surely this could go somewhere, right? I enjoyed that. We kept it in the bathroom, as you can imagine.
Mhm.
And additionally, the other type of book that we had was things you could do, like 101 things you could do with duct tape, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
that also
shooting way under
sold.
the bar.
A
Now-
lot.
And then third book. There was also another one that was like specifically like the bathroom book, right? You know what I mean? And it was like just all kinds of crazy shit that was specifically designed for you to read like while you were on the pot for like 15 minutes.
This
We
is
had
all
all of these-
pre-cell phone.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I
We
still
had
can't
all
do
of
this
these
at
in our
home.
bathroom. I don't know
Oh,
who
you were
go
prepped.
to. I don't know like who you go talk to about like books that are specifically designed to end up in bathrooms. Like what publisher does this? That's who I'm going to.
Oh, geez, it's so frustrating to me. I've done it. I've tried.
TikTok.
TikTok,
I feel this on
100%.
TikTok, and I feel you doing it with your family and reenacting
I agree
each
with
one of
that.
these things. Dude, you have in your you said you don't like arts and crafts. You suck at arts and crafts. It says it in the book.
Mhm.
Yet,
Ah,
however, you came up with Halloween costumes using tampons dyed dark colors to be dreadlocks.
Oh, my poor beagle.
The dog wore 'em.
Yes. I have a
How do you
picture of
handle
my
that?
beagle. She handled it fine.
She was
just,
all right, man.
total same face before, same face after. It was hysterical. Oh, I put my
They
family through
always
so
have that
much.
face, yeah.
Yes.
Hard to tell if they're sad.
Dogs don't like being dressed up. I don't care what anybody thinks. They're just looking at us. They're just happy
They
we're
do.
happy.
Yeah.
That's
It's
all it
either that
is.
or they run. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I think, it's just my sons are old now. They're men like you. And they're not going to want to do the.
Sorry.
No. You've got to do this. And if you're their mom, they would laugh and get involved with it.
I'm thinking.
How could they
They're
not?
they're just starting now. I'm serious, like within the last week, to kind of think some stuff I do is cool and that I'm kind of funny. I mean,
Def
when they're
Leppard
little,
What
they
shirts and all
did.
that
happened,
stuff
what
are
happened
coming
a
back.
week ago?
nothing. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think, well, my son is, I know what you're saying, but doing a stream thing and whatever, and he's so funny and all this. And I hear, and I guess they're just finally realizing that,
I know what you mean.
I embarrassed them enough to, they were great when they were little, and then the in between, they don't want anything to do with.
My kid's 6, and then I got the baby, and they think I'm hilarious right now.
Yeah,
I'm just
it's
waiting
awesome.
for the day where it's like, fuck all this bullshit. Like,
Yes.
They're not funny
Mhm.
anymore.
Yeah, it'll happen, and then hopefully they'll come back.
They will. It's
Yeah,
like
but-
vintage t-shirts
Yeah.
and fashion. It always
Mhm.
comes back
Yeah.
around. The kids are all
It's
wearing
true.
like all the stuff we liked,
Mhm.
and they're all named.
That's true.
They're all named Cobain anyway.
I was just gonna say the kids with the Nirvana shirts like out to dinner. Like sometimes it's hard to not give like that a side
I
eye.
saw a TikTok the other day where this dad was just peeing his pants because his daughter was getting out of the car to go to school, and she had on a shirt that said Nirvana, and it was fucking Hanson.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
the kids from
Oh.
Hanson on a shirt that said Nirvana.
That's funny. That's really funny.
I forgot about them for a second. I think they did
Hanson.
too. Right?
She was wearing
Yes.
I knew a kid in college whose favorite band was Hanson.
Wow. Really?
Was he a
Male.
serial killer?
What? Maybe. No, he doesn't know yet.
I don't think so. But if anybody was a candidate for it, he could have been.
Why did I know
Let's
that?
Google him right now. No.
Unironically, he just loved Hanson. And like when he explained it to us, like week 1, I was like, this guy's got to be joking. And then he just started blasting him on LimeWire. Shout out to LimeWire if you remember that.
Wow.
Um,
Oh my
Napster.
goodness.
Gotcha.
Napster. Yeah. And I just remember him blasting Hanson like regularly. And I was like, bro, like, don't they only have one song?
That's what I was going to say. Did he just put it on repeat? I think I know of one. This little zippity thing. And then that's all I remember. Really? A whole album? A 7-song. Okay.
Did he play the deep cuts?
so yeah, he had 6 deep cuts.
6 deep cuts.
We're gonna play the other 6 Hanson songs.
Guys, you'll never fucking believe this one. Listen to the drummer in this one.
They got this B-side. It's called Bop 'em.
Oh my God, that's funny. Oh God.
You look like the kid from Dazed and
losing
Confused.
Oh God. Yeah, that's awesome.
So you've done a lot of acting as well, and I can't pass this up. I've got to ask how Eric and I met. The academics know this. We met doing corporate recruiting. There's some big quotes up here.
I'm sorry.
And we happen to work for the company that you did your commercials for.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. When I saw it, the first thing we did was, as I texted
Just
Eric,
laughed.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Jay, I'm doing some work for them right now, by the way.
No, you're not.
They're fabulous.
Are you writing
when we talked about
along with Hanson?
We talked about don't sell out.
Right, that would be the last place, because that place was like the sales Nazi boot camp. It was ridiculous.
Oh,
but
I can't even imagine.
In this commercial
that
you did, you were the interviewee. And during the interview, you pulled your phone from your brassiere.
My card.
Oh, that was the card. Sorry. I'll tell you why I said that in a minute.
Okay.
That was a slip. However, you pretended that you were the person that was giving the salary amount to the interviewer who was calling while you hid behind the desk. Eric, how far off real life is this?
It was literally not far off at all.
Terrible.
Let me throw a dart at Jay's logo right there and land it on the trumpet.
Oh my goodness, are you serious? Oh, I can't even imagine.
People that come into those interviews. No, here's the thing.
I'm gonna lose
Not all people are like this. People get in situations where they use corporate recruiting companies and that kind of thing when they need it.
Oh yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. However, there are, just like anything else, there are people, there are outliers, or those that when you're not hireable, or you have undesirable habits.
What's the
problem? You end up going to the corporate recruiter to try to get an interview somewhere. You need to try before you can buy, before anybody will even talk to you.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny about you guys. I love it.
think Eric was in this interview with me. I'm not sure, but this woman was sitting there.
I feel like I was, man.
For some reason, I remember. So
maybe we've talked about it
probably
so much.
Many times. I was talking to this woman, we're going through the interview, and her phone rings, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, "No big deal." She didn't put it on silent. She reached into her shirt, pulled out her phone from her bra, answers it, and says, "Hey, I'm in an interview right now. I can't talk."
Oh my God, that's priceless. That is so good.
You're not in an interview. Feel free to take that call.
Oh my!
You're not in an interview anymore.
Bye-bye. Go ahead. Don't hang up, lady.
Oh
that's
God.
Unbelievable. But it is believable. Oh, that's so funny, because I thought maybe I was going over the top with because we were kind of playing on it, and I just thought of it.
You weren't at all.
Oh, that's crazy. Talk about a book.
People do the wildest shit. Like we talked about this so much, and we still do. And I have these same conversations with my wife, because it's like, it makes life so much easier if you how do I want to describe this? Because I don't want to make myself out to be a fucking rube, but
I think I already got the vibe.
It's so much it's so much easier when you go into conversations like with people and like you sort of give them the benefit of the doubt, like and know like if you're gonna figure them out real quickly, because like there's I don't know, to me there's like very quick signs like for people, like I'm like fucking this person, like I don't want to be judgy or whatever. I'm just gonna put this out there. Some people fucking suck.
Yeah,
I think it's energy, dude. I think it's energy. You can have sucky energy. You can have stupid energy. I feel like you can know somebody's a little bit behind the 8 ball when it comes to life.
Okay.
Before they open their mouth.
Thank you. And it's often not
totally
people's fault, right? Like
you
I'm
just
sure
can't judge them.
I land in front of people sometimes, and I guarantee that they just sit right down and they're just like, I don't need this guy in my life or whatever.
That's been said so many times.
Did I say that out loud? No.
They're just like, for whatever reason at that time, they're like, I don't need this guy in my life. Okay,
I know what you
Erick
mean.
Interviewing you with no belt on in his suit, standing there trying to give you life guidance.
So that happened to me.
What?
That happened to me. So I was sitting there interviewing this lady, right? I want to say she was probably in her late 30s, right? Early 40s, which is my age now. Okay. And, you know, she sits down, and to me at that age, you know, that's like a nice distinguished age, right? You know, I'm sitting here, and to me, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I could place this woman very easily. She's very professional. She's easy. She sits down and she's got this fucking energy, man. Just this energy. And I'm just like, she's making me uncomfortable like real fast, because she's like rushing me through the questions. And like, look, I'm 23, 24, whatever it was at that age, but I'm not an idiot, okay? I am, but I'm not, all right? Like, I knew what I was doing. By the standards of that job, I was on the top 25th percentile.
Well, that's because they do rotate every 30 days, so.
Yeah. Yes. Smart enough. Okay, let's call me
No,
smart enough.
Gotcha.
Smart enough. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, this woman's rushing me through and she's making me feel like a dum-dum. Okay. And I didn't need it. Like, I just didn't. You know how you feel that way with people? You have these conversations with people you're trying to sell the books to. They're putting that energy out to you.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You're like, I don't deserve this. I don't need this. I've been here before.
Totally.
I start feeling that way with this lady, right? And I'm like, I know enough about what I'm doing to not deserve this. And so we get like 5 minutes in, and she starts like asking herself the questions that I'm asking her, because she feels that I'm not asking her the appropriate questions, right?
She's
and I go,
rewording your questions. She's rephrasing them.
Exactly.
Boy.
Exactly it.
Oh my
Exactly
God.
it. And
This
I
is like
said,
an
I was
SNL
like 23. I'm proud of the then me, because I said, I go, listen, I said, I don't know like what you think you're doing here, but I said, I'm interviewing you. Like, you're not interviewing me. You're not interviewing yourself. I said, this is a weird part, because I was like on my shoes or on my feet. I said, you're making me really uncomfortable right now.
That's
with
like
the way you're coming
least
off.
manly thing you could say. You're making me feel weird.
Yeah, you think it'd be, yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. You think it'd be
I said,
switch.
you're making me feel really uncomfortable right now. In like pre-Shark Tank, like pre-Shark Tank, I said, and for all those reasons, I'm out. No, I didn't say I'm out. I said, for all those reasons, I'm gonna have to end this interview. And I booted her ass.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
But it's just like, if you like really want to know like what somebody's like, man, a fucking job interview, or like when like stuff's really at stake, that's it, man.
No,
that
what
is
you
so
need to
true.
do is
I'm
watch
so
your
exhausted
friends
from
interview
laughing.
without them knowing, and then you get
What's
to
that?
see. I think that I would love to watch people that I knew interview for jobs without them knowing I was there. How amazing would it be to see them suit up, mask up,
Hysterical.
and go in there with their game face, because ain't nobody authentic in an interview.
That's so true. That'd be so good. That'd be so interesting. I just can't get over you guys with your past. Talk about a book. It sounds like, you know, there's story upon story of, it's amazing. I know
I
my
can't
husband
make the dad joke I want to about it, or I'd give the company name away.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I have a
Got
book
it.
title in mind.
Oh, okay, I got it.
I'm with you. Just give me a small chapter.
You're right. Some of these places deserve to have books written about them, and then how do lawsuits work?
I think you don't say it. That's all you do. You just put the story. I cannot. The woman with the phone in the bra. I mean, that was priceless. That's priceless.
That was a rookie move.
That's so awesome. I'm so glad that happened, and I got to hear about it. That's the kind. That's what makes me happy.
With a cocaine habit that doesn't show up to a fucking 6-figure job. On day one. You're like, I'm sorry.
That happened to people. I remember that happening to a guy that we used to work with.
Oh my gosh, how impossible. People are, I know what my husband's a GM, and I have never heard about so many different types of individuals. We'll just put it, the scenarios he tells me. Yes. And I'm like, are you serious? You're making this up. This woman didn't really say that. And now it's been so many years. He's like, and then this broad whipped the thing out and grabbed the other, and the other guy went whatever. And then she took her shoes, whatever. And I'm like, okay.
I want to hear the shoes story.
Well, there was all sorts of stuff going on in that description.
It sounds like the Easter extravaganza in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yes, exactly. I hear stuff I can't unhear. There's just people's little, but then you realize too, I bet you guys know what I'm talking about. There's different categories, kind of. There's a Brenda at every place he's worked. If you get what I'm saying, there's a Karen. I just had to say Karen, but you know what I'm saying? There's a Karen.
Is there a difference between Brenda and Karen?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Who's Brenda and who's Karen?
Brenda's the Nazi with the, I can't say that, but she's the one in the supply department that won't give out pens. Bring your own pens. Okay. He worked at a place where you had to bring your own pens, and the job entailed them writing with pens. So his employees would come to him, we have to bring our own pens. And he went and talked to Brenda, and she's pushing the box with her foot, whatever, across the room. She goes, I'll give you 3 or whatever, but I'm not giving you any more. Just this bizarre, you know what I mean? Just personalities, but that's a human race,
Big pins.
Honestly,
so somebody who takes ownership over like she's like an office bulldog who stakes their claim over some weird.
Yeah. And then you have the dude that tries to sleep with everybody, and the chick that tries to sleep, just normal stuff. But they're every place he works.
The Chad. Yeah. I think that's the known, and I'm not an incel for the record, but that's the incels called Chad, and they became Chads. Just so you know.
That's okay. Too funny.
It's interesting. Yeah.
So I wanted to kind of check it because you have a podcast as well. I wanted to give you a chance.
Not right now.
You don't. Okay, so it's like
didn't I update you? I'm sorry.
Episodes. All right. Well, so much for me being on point.
I've been on a kind of one, but we're in a holding pattern. I'm just going to put it that way right now. So that's where that's
happening. You mean? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, and it's just kind of now. I'm just kind of,
Well, it makes sense.
See. But I appreciate that. I did when I filled up my sheet. Life happens.
No, it does happen. Well, I want to thank you for coming on, Karen. And I'm going to, my viewpoint on this book is, it's super funny. There's a lot of great wit and humor in it, but I contend that this book was written when you were looking at the younger generation having problems dealing with this and taking away the power. And I think that's very admirable.
Thank you. I'll take anything that you think's admirable.
I agree.
I appreciate it. Now, Erick,
Thank
do you have anything you want to say?
No, not today. Not today. Well, Well, as far as not about me. As far as Karen, I really appreciate everything that you're doing. It's really, I think it's funny. I want to see it go out to the masses personally.
I appreciate you saying that.
What you've done so far is success in my eyes, but I can see that you want more people to see it. I understand. And I think I do agree that TikTok would be a tremendous place for that.
100%.
Well, from your lips to TikTok's
You've got
Asses.
all the, yeah, you've got
There
all
you
the
go.
equipment. Yeah, TikTok
Yes, actually,
asses.
that's my slogan
All
now.
right. Well, on that note, why don't we get out of here, man?
Thanks,
all right,
guys.
academics, remember, be cool. Eric?
Keep learning.
All right.
Hey, academics. Thanks again for attending another class at the Tragedy Academy. You can show us some love by subscribing, downloading, and rating us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. Or ask Amazon Alexa to play the Tragedy Academy podcast. You can find links to all major podcast platforms and past episodes at thetragedyacademy.com. You can find us on all the majors of social media, on Instagram at The Tragedy Academy 2019, on TikTok at The Tragedy Academy, and on Twitter at Tragedy_Academy, where we'll post our clips of upcoming shows, updated info, and thoughts. If you'd like to be a guest, send an email to show@thetragedyacademy.com. Keep an eye out on Instagram for Tragedy Academy giveaways. Thanks again for coming to class, and remember, be cool, keep learning.
Hello, academics, and welcome to the Study Hall. I'm Carl, and I'm your Study Hall monitor. And now, for your assignment. Karen Laven is a writer of multiple books, an actress, humorist, and guest speaker. She's been featured in the television show In Plain Sight, and she's voicing a video game titled Fire Why Side. This will be released on Steam later in 2021. Her books include the following: Cincinnati Ghosts, Dayton Ghosts, and the most recent title, The Other 23 Days, Alternative Uses for Feminine Hygiene Products. To purchase these products and for updates, go to KarenLaven.net. Follow her on Twitter at Karen Laven, and search for her on Facebook at Karen JULIG.LAVEN.3. Okay, academics, you got your assignment. Now, back to class.
What's up, academics? This is Jay. I'm here to talk to you about Into the AM. This is a clothing and apparel company that I came across last year that has the absolute coolest designs. And the reason why I was attracted to it is because I grew up without a lot of money, like many others, and had to shop on that outlet rack with the irregular items. Things like the fly was over 4 inches to the left, or the right sleeve would be twice the size of the left. It looked like I was growing horizontally. Like, it's okay, honey, you'll grow into your left arm. So you really don't get a chance to express yourself the way that you want to. You go into life, you start putting on suits, you start putting on uniforms, and you realize you'd never had a chance to truly express yourself. Enter Into the AM, a team of artists and creators who share a common vision. They see clothing as a canvas to express what drives you. Since 2012, they've developed premium apparel that elevates self-expression and provides unparalleled comfort for wherever your passions take you. Into the AM's passion for change is the driving force behind their brand. They remain committed to creating products that inspire and promote self-expression by partnering with like-minded organizations focused on giving back to communities in need. Last year, they donated 1% of all revenue from their graphic tees collection to the Art of Elysium charity. The Art of Elysium is an artist organization built on the idea that through service, art becomes a catalyst for social change. For over 24 years, the Art of Elysium has paired volunteer artists with communities to support individuals in the midst of difficult emotional life changes. They currently offer 110 community programs per month, serving over 30,000 individuals per year. The only permanent thing in life is change. Supporting charities dedicated to helping those going through these changes, trials, and tribulations require a never-ending commitment. The onus is on us as creators to affect change through our true, authentic talents, and Into the AM is the model of how this is done. Their clothes are handcrafted with care. They have a team of skilled artisans that craft each garment with the highest quality fabrics and eco-friendly inks. Not to mention, these things don't shrink, they don't fade, and they fit as if they were designed supernaturally. I'm stopped every time I wear one of the graphic tees to find out where I got it. The colors attract attention from miles, and the art is nothing short of spectacular, with designs for everyone. One of my personal favorites, Twilight Maiden. Go take a look. Into the AM does all of this while putting their money where their mouth is. 30-day money-back guarantee, lightning fast shipping, and hassle-free returns. The deals are endless. Graphic tee bundles, discount promo codes. Get over there, check it out. I'm highlighting the tees, but I'd be remiss to not mention that if you want to walk around in the absolute most comfortable shorts, joggers, and basic tees, hit up Into the AM. I even wear the basics to the gym. Head on over to thetragedyacademy.com, go to our sponsors tab, and follow the affiliate link to the Into the AM store. Help support Into the AM and the Tragedy Academy by purchasing the absolute best apparel and the best designs ever. And remember, academics, be cool and keep learning.